And coming up next, it's a UFC welterweight division matchup. Well, DC, this is a true mixed martial artist of the highest order. You've watched the film. Hard for me to see much in terms of glaring weaknesses, and he believes he can react to anything that is thrown his way inside that arm.
It's unbelievable because whenever you're trying to prepare for someone, you look for weaknesses. But when you watch this guy, nothing jumps off the page. When you think I have to go wrestle him, you realize very quickly that not only can he defend takedowns, he can also go and secure them himself. He's that new breed of fighter that has been doing every discipline from the very start of his career. You know you're looking at a guy that will contend for a championship.
And if our fighter meeting on Thursday is any indication, confidence not an issue for this young man coming in here tonight. All right, so here he is, the Nigerian Nightmare, and you can also now call him the UFC welterweight champion. He had to go 10-0 in the UFC to finally realize that UFC belt, beat Tyron Woodley, and establish himself as the standard at 170 pounds.
And he never lost track of what was out in front of him. Even though he had to win 10 fights, Kamaru Usman understood that he would do whatever it took to become UFC champion. And when he got that opportunity, it was the wrestling, the cardio, and the ability to follow the game plan set out in front of him by Henry Hooft and Greg Jones that allowed him to blank Tyron Woodley on the scorecard and win that welterweight championship. Unbelievable performance by Usman.
Truly one of the hardest workers in the game, and if you watch that Woodley fight, you get the sense that it is going to take a Herculean effort for somebody to dethrone the new hunted at 170 pounds, Kamaru Usman. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight. So a more than 5-year gap between these two fighters when it comes to the age, and they both possess a similar height and reach. To get us started, here is
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 12 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Stockholm, Sweden, Khamzat Chimaev. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler holding a professional record of 20 wins, 3 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Lavigne.
The veteran Yves Lavigne draws the assignment here.
You ready?
All right, so the fight is now underway. On one side, we have a fighter who does everything well, taking on a true grappler on the other side. Going to be interesting to see how long he can keep it upright.
I mean, Damian Maia may be the most specialist type of grappler in the UFC. This guy resembles him in a number of ways. Let's see how he manages this fight against a guy that can do just about everything inside the octagon.
Lands the right hand. Crazy accuracy and efficiency with these ground and pound strikes here. And if you're the opponent, you got to intelligently defend or the referee's going to stop.
You got to defend, but you can see him now starting to gain posture, and the intensity at which he's throwing these ground strikes is starting to improve. It's starting to elevate because he knows that he can get the finish.
Let's go, guys.
All right, so he's got the body locked down here, DC, or so it appears. This is not a guy you want anywhere near your back. All right, side control now.
Hard scramble.
Bottom fighter better move.
Yeah, he's got to move, John. He's got to shrimp and try to either get up or pull his opponent back into him so he doesn't have the posture to land that big damage.
And he's back up again. So the takedowns have been there, as have the get-ups. And he landed the right hand there. Both fighters throwing heat now. Usman's knee attempt here looked like a good one, but it gets blocked.
Look at him chopping the wood. Chop the wood with those leg kicks.
Quick entry to get it on a single.
That was a a great single. Oh, my God, he switched the lock to a high crotch, rotated him, and took him for a ride. That was a big takedown.
Well, you gotta be working off of your back. He's certainly doing so here. Nice punch. All right, dominant position for him here. Full mount. If you're the bottom fighter, better start moving those hips, DC.
Oh, you gotta start moving those hips. What you should do initially, right, is start to push at the knee. Push at the hip, create some distance, shrimp, and try to recollect half guard. Half guard sucks, but it's much better than being mounted fully by your opponent.
All right, he's got side control here, DC. You know, he's got a lot of different submissions in his arsenal once this fight gets to the ground. All right, so inside the open guard of his opponent, you gotta be careful playing around for too long here on the ground with this guy.
Now, the guy's attacking the triangle. He finds himself in trouble because he got a little bit lazy in the full guard.
Looks like he's trying to manipulate the head. This could be tight.
Watch triangle, watch triangle. There he is, he's moving to the finishing position. Now watch, he goes parallel, right? Oh man, that was slick.
Horn sounds for the end of round one.
Excellent. Keeps dropping his left hand, leaving his jaw wide open for you. To stay on the outside, pumping with the...
All right, so there's the horn. That means it's the end of the round, and a lot of good offensive wrestling work from him over those previous 5 minutes.
I mean, great offensive wrestling. Every time he changed levels and got to his opponent's legs, he was able to secure the takedown. Let's see what type of fatigue his opponent will carry into the next round.
Well, if you like wrestling and you like takedowns, I guess that's the round for you. He really had his way with his opponent there.
Yeah, he was able to secure many takedowns, switching up the techniques, constantly changing the angle, never allowing his opponent to get a beat on what type of finish he was trying to go to.
Slips to avoid that left.
Left hand punch from the clinch.
Oh, beautiful takedown by him there as he lands another one. He's keeping the stat guys busy tonight.
I mean, over and over, takedown attempt after takedown attempt, and the cardio. The cardio to wrestle that much is so impressive because his opponent is getting back to his feet, but he's got this ability to continue to chase takedowns.
Oh, he's got the knee on the belly. Could be trouble defensively. All right, so he's sort of turtled up here. Not great body language. Perhaps he's trying to bait him in a little bit. Oh, the ground and pound strikes continue to rain down. The opponent better move out of harm's way or the referee's going to stop this thing.
He better start to move, and when his opponent starts to posture, he needs to put his feet on the hips, push him away to try to escape this very, very dangerous position.
All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. Both fighters get up now. All right, watch out for the setup here. DC, I know you don't pay your bets, but I'll bet you $100 he goes for another takedown here.
If I don't pay, then why are you betting me? I'll yell at the octagon and go, man, don't shoot. So that I...
That's a perfect scramble right there. Beautiful transition. Quick entry here.
Nice single leg entry. Rotates the head outside to a high crotch. Oh, takes it for a ride. What a fantastic takedown.
All right, he's got the full mount now. Is this one of the most dominant positions in MMA? Is that fair to say?
It's a very dominant position. It's one of the most ideal positions you can get to, especially if you are fighting someone that doesn't truly understand that they're not in as much danger as they are, because it's dangerous, but there are a lot of outs. And if
Oh, looks like he's transitioning to an armbar.
You cannot stay in the guard of these great jiu-jitsu guys. An attacking armbar. You gotta recognize that when a guy starts to put his feet on your hips, you gotta move him off, and you gotta cover. You can't be off to an angle.
This might just be a matter of time. And that will do it.
Wow!
Right, I mean, how do you not admire the focus of this young fighter? You could tell he was looking for that submission much earlier in the round, but he didn't want to rush it. He stayed patient, let the setup do its thing, and ultimately the submission materializes organically late in the round. High-level stuff out of that young fighter here tonight. All right, let's take a look back at the replay as he gets it done by submission tonight, champ.
He does a great job of staying patient. He doesn't rush or panic. You are never safe when you're fighting this guy. You're in a lot of trouble. You're in a lot of trouble the entire time when you're this good in the submission.
So there he is, your winner by submission. That is a finish they will likely be talking about for some time. Big win, major statement made to the rest of this division.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Levine has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 32 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by submission due to an armbar, Khamzat Chimaev!
All right, so there he is, all smiles and rightfully so after he gets the job done by submission tonight. You told me off the air before the fight that he was going to submit him, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, you know, this guy has such a great submission game that you cannot lay in his guard. And his opponent is known to lay in the guard. He made him pay for it tonight and got the submission victory.